Hi everybody, this is Jen from Cookies, Cupcakes, and Cardio.com. Today on the channel I'm going to be making these Smurf cake pops. Smurfs were really popular when I was a kid and now they've come back around in movie form, so it's kind of fun to put this tutorial together for you. So let's get started. To make the Smurf cake pops, you're going to need blue melting wafers. You're going to need buttercream and cake crumbs. They can be any flavor of both that you want. You're also going to need blue fondant, white fondant, lollipop or cake pop sticks. I'm going to be using two different paint brushes. One will be for the black gel paste that I'm going to use to paint the face on the Smurf, and the other one is going to be to use for the melted candy wafers to attach the little pieces. I'm going to use one of these fondant spatulas. I'm also going to be using the top of a Wilton number 12 tip to cut out the eyes for the Smurf. And I'm going to be using a fondant roller. So let's get started. The first thing I need to do is to put probably about a tablespoon of icing into the cake crumbs. And I'm just going to start with that amount. And I'm going to mix them all up. And what I'm looking for in the end is a Play-Doh-like consistency. And if it's too dry, you'll find the cake pops are cracking. And then you just want to put a little bit more of the icing into the crumb mixture. So I can tell already it's a little bit too dry because it's just not sticking together well. I'm just going to take another tablespoon and that should be perfect. So I'm going to finish mixing this up and then I'll be back to show you what to do next. After I have my cake crumbs and the buttercream combined, I'm taking my small sized cookie scoop, and I just use this in order to have uniform sized cake balls. So I just go like that, roll it up, and then place it on a piece of parchment paper on a baking sheet. What I'm going to do after I've got these all rolled out is I'm going to melt my candy melts, because the next step will involve using those and the cake pop sticks. My cake pop balls are rolled and my candy melts are melted. So I'm going to take my cake pop stick and I'm just going to stick the end in there, tap it off a little bit, and then I'm going to put it straight into the cake pop, just like that. These are going to go into the freezer for about 20 minutes until they're nice and solid, because when we dip them again, we don't want them to come off of our sticks. So I'll be back after they are frozen. Once the cake balls have been in the freezer, we're going to take the sticks and we're going to dip it directly into the melted cake ball, into the melted candy melts. And I'm just tapping gently to get any excess off. If you don't have one of these handy little holders here, you can just put it into a styrofoam piece and it helps keep them upright when they're drying. So I'm going to go ahead and dip all the rest of these cake pops, and then I'll be back to start the decorating once they're dry. While the cake pops are drying, I'm going to start on my hat with my white pieces of fondant. So I'm just working it up to be narrower at the end. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work on the base, and I'm just making it flat and pulling it out so it's thinner at the edges. So just like this. So once I've got it nice and thin here, I'm going to put it on my cake pop, and I'm going to pull this hat a little bit up here like this, and then curve it downwards like that, and I'm going to put that right onto the cake pop next. To put the Smurf hat on, what we're going to do is just place it onto our cake pop, and then we're going to work it down just so it's sticking right in place, just like that. And then in order to make a smooth edge on it, just kind of rub one of your sharp tools like that to make it in place just like that. And there we have our Smurf hat ready to go. With my blue fondant, I've made 3 small and fairly equal little balls. One of them I'm just going to roll into a circle and I'm just going to leave it as is. The other 2 I'm going to roll out like a snake. Just make it long. Just like this. And then for the ear, all I'm going to do is just come together at the end, just like that. So the other one as well. Roll that out. And then bring it together, the two ends, just like that. So now I'm going to use the melting wafers to stick those to the sides. Using my paintbrush and some of the melted wafers, I'm going to put a small dot on the center here for the Smurf's nose. And then I'm going to put a little bit on either side, and those will be for the ears. And this melted chocolate will help it stick. And next up, we will work on the eyes. To make the eyes, I'm going to roll out my white fondant. And just using the top of this tip, I'm going to cut out 2 pieces for the eyes. And then I'm going to just put a little dab of the melting wafers into right near the nose. The eyes are fairly close together on the Smurfs, just like that. And then I'm going to put the eye carefully up here, right onto there, like that. And the other one here. Like that. And then using my paintbrush that I haven't used yet, I'm going to take my black gel paste and I'm going to I'm going to paint small little pupils here for the Smurf in the center. And then this guy is going to get a lovely happy face. So you're just painting any sort of face and mouth on the Smurf, just like that. So I'm going to finish off a couple more and I'll be back to show you the end result. There you go everybody, how to make Smurf cake pops. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Remember, you can find me on Google+, Twitter, and on Facebook. We'll see you again next time.